So along the years, serving God, serving in ministry, it has come to a point whereby I realized very powerfully is that what we place on the altar, and many times we just want to take it back.
Yeah, no,
You
you're
know,
right.
and sometimes we just surround the altar and think that we have been to the altar,
Yeah.
but go lay it on the altar and say that God,
And leave it.
yes,
Walk away.
I know, but it's so hard.
It's so hard.
It grows me to be mature and say that God, I'm laying everything at your feet. And along the way, there were very, very good spiritual counsel. They say that, hey, have you made Nepal your idol?
Wow.
I say yes. Have you made missions your idol? Oh yes. Right. When we went to East Timor, it was the year 2000 for recce trip, and the first trip I stepped into East Timor, I didn't realize I was pregnant. I mean, I planned everything, but God planned otherwise.
Yes. As usual. That
Yeah.
sounds like God.
I was like, God, why? What? I mean, like, I want to go missions, but not with a baby.
Welcome to the Live Full podcast, where we talk about all things faith, family, and living fully the life God wants for you. Now, today's episode, we're going to be talking about trusting God and even about raising boys. And so today, I have a very, very, very special guest in my house right here with me, and that is none other than Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Gladys. Good to see you.
Yes, well, I managed to catch you at a really good time while you were in Singapore and not traveling.
Right.
And so I thought, you know what, since you are here, I must have you on. I must make sure that you come.
What a privilege and honor.
Yes, well, I think for those who don't know our background, right, you were my very first regional pastor after I got married to Chris.
Oh, okay.
So, because the way our church works, we have 6 campuses. And, when I got married, I basically moved campus and I had to go with Chris, right? And I thought, oh man, like, I don't know how will I have friends, will I have people around me? But, of course, I went into the most welcoming region, the most amazing pastors.
Always the best, right?
And so I am so grateful. I honestly am so grateful that our paths crossed. And not just that, actually, your husband preached at our wedding.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because you guys have just poured out so much into our lives and invested so much in us, and we're always so grateful just for your time and for both of you. Really, such a wonderful family too.
We
Yeah.
really enjoyed you guys. I mean, knowing Chris and know the parents, the family from so many years, it's almost like family friends.
Yeah.
And in church, it's almost like spiritual family.
Yes.
So like Chris's parents, Uncle Albert, Auntie Linda.
Yes.
So
Yes.
people ask me, why do you call them Uncle Albert, Auntie Linda? I say it's because it's a sign of respect. I'm going to teach my kids to call
That's
them.
right.
And so we start calling them Uncle Albert and Auntie Linda.
Wonderful.
In
Yeah.
reference. So
Yeah.
that's how far
Yesterday
back we go to.
No, it's true. Yesterday we were just talking about a funny story, right? Because my father-in-law's name is Albert, and your son, who is now 20, your eldest,
24.
he's 24. Oh my word! Yes, you're right. He's 24. And he spelled my father-in-law's name as L-B-I-R-D, and we had a good laugh about it. My kids are still talking about this. Yes. So we had a fun time. Okay, but maybe you can tell everyone maybe a bit about who you are, and share a bit more about your story.
Right. I'm Evelyn Selvam, married to Selvam. That's why my name is Evelyn Selvam.
Yep.
And I have 3 boys, 24, 20, 16. They are very gorgeous hunks. I mean, I'm biased. Of course, I'm biased.
You are
I am
biased.
biased, but not really, right?
Okay. We're not
Okay,
biased.
they are not as handsome as Josiah, but they are handsome.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. And so we have been in VFC. I am safe in Victory Family Center since 15 years old.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, but then, and
Yeah.
it's been a long journey, but I've been with this church all the days of my life as a Christian. Yeah.
And how did you come to know Jesus? Like, what was your journey like at 15?
15. It's quite interesting. I had a friend who came to church. We met outside of school, and he was among a group of friends. And 6 months later, when I was catching up with him, asking him how's exams, how's results over the phone, and when he was talking to me over the phone, he was so drastically changed
Yeah.
in his language.
Wow.
He used to end his language with all the XYZs.
Yeah. Okay.
But then now he's like always, praise the Lord.
Wow.
God is good. I'm like, gosh, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Are you possessed? And then he said, no lah, I went to church. My
Wow.
sister brought me to church and brought my mom to church. And then I was like, oh man, whichever God can change you in
Mm,
6 months, he is worthy. He is someone that I would like to meet.
yeah.
And he invited me to church with his cousins and all that. So I know the cousin, the sister, and all that. And then that's where I just accepted the Lord.
Yeah. At Victory Family Center.
That's right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's wonderful. I think, even for your husband, you mentioned Selvam, he's very much involved in the mission work of East Timor,
Right.
And that's really why you came to, I think, in this last time, besides your children, of course, but we attended this event, this beautiful event called Love Timor,
Right.
right? And where we celebrated really God's goodness and his faithfulness, I think, in the nation of East Timor. I remember I one of the kind of linking things for both of us too is that we both spent some time there.
Right.
You way more than I did, but I did 1 year. I think you did four,
4 years.
right? 4 years there. You were one of the pioneering missionaries when our senior pastor at that time made the call to go into East Timor and bless that nation. You were one of the first few teams. Maybe you can
Right.
tell us a bit about that journey too. I think you brought your 24-year-old who at that time was only 4 months old.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
When the call for East Timor came through a letter through a lawyer of our church.
Wow.
So the freedom fighter then, Zana Guzman, who was not yet the president, sent a letter through the lawyer of our church to invite any organization who would come in and help this nation,
Wonderful.
who's just post-war. And the letter was read out at a leaders' retreat.
Mm,
So, of course, it says that whoever has the language, which is Bahasa Melayu,
mm,
to respond to the call.
mm.
So, two-person went, and my husband felt responsible since he know the language as
Yeah.
he was schooled in this language. And he says that, okay, I'll take the recce trip
Yeah.
with the other pastors. And both of them went in and they did a recording of the on the ground recce trip, kind of find out what's happening. And when they came out, he just kind of leave the video camera, in a living room and say that, when you're free, take a look. I said, no, I'm not going to take a look. I don't want to know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, when you're free. And of course, I'm so curious, right? I can't help it.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
while I was doing my
Good tactic.
housework, I just put it on and it's like, bang.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
Yeah.
When you look at that thing and you see how the people are suffering, how lost the nation. And
Yeah.
it was at that point that I felt that we should step in,
Yeah.
although we were on the way to Nepal.
Yeah, well, I want to hear about this part of the story because I think when you went to East Timor, was it 1999? What was it the first team that you said?
2000.
2000? Yeah. So, yeah, this was exactly 25 now years ago,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, it's true. I think one of the things you guys always shared with us was how you came to East Timor. Now you guys are like big East Timor, basically Timorese already.
Oh, yeah.
But before you went into Timor, exactly, you shared that you were gonna go to Nepal.
Yeah. Our journey, me and my husband,
Yeah.
our journey started in Nepal.
Mm.
I had a vision from years back, also at a leaders retreat. And I felt that God called me to a nation,
Yeah.
and that nation was Nepal, and specifically not Nepal, but tribes.
Mm.
So when I went to Nepal for a recce trip, I felt and there was
Yep.
further confirmation. And over the years, there was different confirmation. And even my husband was also on the way to Nepal. He felt that God also called him. And we kind of like, okay, we can do life together.
Confirmed, right? Yeah.
And so for almost 10 years, we were preparing, learning a language and waiting for a time to move in. That's when the call to East Timor came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, many of us who are listening, we might be experiencing or have gone through something similar, right? Where you were so sure that this is the call, this is what God is saying for me to go or to do. But then when you change course like that, it does something to your spirit. It kind of makes you feel a little like, wait, is that God actually? Right? Or maybe a bit upset with the church, with God, right? What was that call for? How did you deal with that? How did you settle it in your heart almost, you know?
It's a long process, I think. I think it
Mm,
took a couple of years. We were pushing through for Nepal, and at the brink of it, when we were like, and leadership, everything over the receiving end, and here everything has been worked out. We've been on a long trip there, 6 months, just to finalize the final details,
yeah.
and we were just packing our bags and
Yeah.
about to go
Wow.
when this video come in and this trip come in, and then so we had a discussion, and that's when I think the thing about Nepal was that it come to a point whereby we told God, we said, God, we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Definitely, I don't think that going to Nepal was wrong.
Mm,
Neither did we hear wrongly, because there's been so many confirmation, prophecy from different ones, visions, dreams, and all over the years. It's just such an alignment of things. And we know that it was God. But when this East Timor thing came in, again, God was saying that, are you willing
yeah.
to be, to submit, to
Wow.
flow with me?
Yeah.
And my heart was like, God, whatever it takes, no. And we that's why when we went to East Timor, we were like, okay, let's just do for 3 years, then we go back to our original route.
Yes.
Yeah, but and as you see, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we kind of surrendered to God, and we went back to leadership. At that time, Pastor Rick already had arranged a meeting to say that, yeah, we are releasing you to go to Nepal. But at that meeting, we kind of told him that we are ready to step into East Timor, because it is such a war-torn country, such a crisis,
Yeah.
such a Kairos moment,
Yes.
and you need to just drop everything and go.
Mm,
And not many people at that point was able
willing.
to
Yeah.
able to do that.
Yeah.
And we are kind of like, okay, we are ready, but our bags are at the back,
Yeah.
at the door. We just
No,
go.
I think that was one of the things that really encouraged us, even our early years of marriage, when you said this exact phrase. We just were willing anytime that God calls us, we'll drop everything and leave, you know?
Yeah,
And so that has really defined even just for Chris and I, like the way that we've raised our family, the way we even make financial decisions,
right.
the way we've made plans even for our future. We try not to hold on to them very tightly,
Right.
you know? And so did you ever experience I know it's asking you to be quite vulnerable, but did you ever experience confusion, disappointment?
All the
Even in
time.
that season.
All the time.
Yeah. Tell us more how you
Confusion,
how you went through
disappointment.
that.
I think for the Nepal part, I was quite sure that it is Nepal. So
Yeah.
the confusion part was sieved out from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because then in my choosing of a mate, someone to do life with,
Yeah.
I say it's so much a part of my life.
Yes.
So if the person is not for Nepal, then don't even talk to me. Speak to my home.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very sure about it. But the confusion and the disappointment part, I don't think so. It's just that um maybe it grows me
Mm.
to be mature and say that, God, I'm laying everything at your feet. And along the way, there were very, very good spiritual counsel. They say that, hey, have you made Nepal your idol?
Wow.
I say, yes. Have you made missions your idol? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So every time there's checks, spiritual checks, then I'll be like, okay, God, I really need to surrender. Ultimately, it's all coming back to, like what Moses say, where your presence is, that's where I want to be.
Wow.
I don't want to be anywhere else, whether it's Nepal, America, Japan, or East Timor. But if God's presence is not leading me there, then no, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Really good. Like so powerful. I think we need all the encouragement that we need, because there's so many times that's a similar journey, right? We think we are going in this direction, but maybe you're right. We've made it an idol, right? So, and
Yeah.
God was capturing our hearts
Right.
more than our plans,
Right.
and what we thought we wanted to hang on to. And that's a huge part of trusting God, really.
Yeah. And also you talk about worship about laying things on the altar,
Mm,
sacrifice.
mm,
Now it doesn't cost you if it doesn't cause an ouch
yeah,
from
yeah.
your heart.
Yes,
So
exactly.
along the years, serving God, serving in ministry, it has come to a point whereby I realize very powerfully is that what we place on the altar, and
Mm,
many times we just want to take it back,
yeah, no, you're right.
and sometimes we just surround the altar, and think that we have been to the altar,
Yeah.
but many times you got to lay it on the altar and say that, God,
And leave it.
yeah, it's-
Walk away.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
so hard.
It's so hard because actually the altar you can still take. You can
Yeah.
still take it back,
And
right?
sometimes the thing is crying out to you, come,
That's
come.
correct. Come back and grab me again.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. We got to make a decision, like leave it and then walk away and then never
Yeah.
look at it again. Never
Yeah.
revisit it again.
Yeah. So it will resurface some point when we are spiritually low, discouraged, and you ask the question, what in the world am I doing here?
Yeah.
There was one occasion when we were in East Timor and we were facing some challenges there. That
Mm.
was the initial part, about 1.5 years into the missions, and we were so discouraged by the people there that we both of us climbed up to the hilltop. Is a higher part of East Timor on top, and it was overlooking at the whole village,
Wow.
the whole place. And we were
Which part of
looking.
East Timor were you guys at?
We were at
Baokau?
Baokau, 3 hours
Baokau. Yep.
drive away from Dili.
Mm.
But we were up on a hill, and then we were looking at everything. And then we wanted to do that thing, slap the dust off your sandal and
Yes,
curse.
yes, yes.
And we were standing there, we were discussing, should we? Should we not?
Just being real.
Yeah. And we were like, okay, God forgive us.
Yes.
We're gonna love this land, we're gonna love this. Let's not curse. Let's not be the stumbling block that stops them to revival and blah, whatever God wants to do. Oh, we're gonna die again.
Yeah.
And so we remember that moment so instinctively. There's so much.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's that moment when you want to give up and you want to really like shake your dust off and walk away.
Mm.
But thank God, because we didn't see.
Yeah.
That's why we have the 21
No,
this
exactly.
gathering, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even at the gathering, I was just recounting a story to the girl who was sitting next to me, who now actually is East Timor, and I hope I meet her again. But she has an incredible story.
Yeah,
Like she's
yeah.
been there for like 6 years or something, and I told her the same thing. I said there was a moment that was in East Timor, because East Timor, I mean, if you do a quick Google for anyone listening, I mean, it's not the most like easiest country to live in, and imagine 24, 25 years ago. I mean, it was even harder. I went 9 years after that. So I was there in 2009. And it still was I was in the city, but the definition of a city at that time was quite different from what it looks like today. I need
Oh,
to go back and
yes,
see
yes.
it. But I remember no running water. The electricity kept going off. Rats were quite a common sight, right? In
Oh,
the
call
house.
them Mickey and Minnie.
So nice and affectionate. I mean, we were like rat trapping them, I mean, and no aircon, okay? I mean, all these different things. And I just remember thinking, just very superficially, I was just feeling like, wow, there's no result, there's nothing happening. And I'm going through all this pain. I was only 20 years old at that
Yeah,
time.
that's right.
And I remember thinking, God, I'm done already. I want to go home. I cry and I cry. I called my mother, I remember. And thank God my mother, bless her, God, thank you so much for bringing a mother like this in my life, who loves Jesus, who knew what it means to follow the call of God in your life.
Wow.
She actually was the one who told me, did you feel like God called you to East Timor? I said, yes. She said, if he's called you, then you stay and you finish your mission, then you come home.
Wow.
And I was like, thank
Good
you,
mother.
mommy. Yeah.
Good mother.
Right? Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful, that I had that experience of you go through challenges. It doesn't mean that when you're walking in the will of God, everything is smooth sailing, easy, straightforward. In fact, you will face challenges, you will face obstacles, you will feel like giving up, right? But it is in those moments where you go back to your call again and say, God, like, what does it mean to trust you? What does it mean to walk with you? Maybe you can share. I think that was not the end of your struggles in East Timor. I feel like you all had more. And maybe you can share a few more of those that I think even with your son, right? I think there was like a medical thing that happened too, and maybe there are others too. But what that kind of taught you, and how did you go through those difficult, challenging moments?
Right. When we went to East Timor, it was the year 2000 for recce trip. And the first trip I stepped into East Timor, I didn't realize I was pregnant. I mean, I planned everything, but God planned otherwise.
Yes, yes. As usual. That
Yeah.
sounds like God.
I was like, God, why? What? I mean, like, I want to go missions, but not with a baby.
Yeah.
But then we decided as well that whoever comes along, whether it's a baby, two babies, twins, triplets, whatever, they're just part of our family. We're just going to do life together.
Yeah.
So when he went in, I have to deliver him in Singapore, came in and out, deliver him in Singapore, went in. He was 4 months old. So I think by the 1.5 years old, 18 months or 20 months, he had this infection on his body, and it was itchy, and then it started developing more and more.
And this was in East Timor, right?
East
This is
Timor.
Balkau,
Yeah.
3 hours away from the city.
Yeah, and there is a land where we say there's medicine, but there's no doctors. You can go to pharmacies and get the medicine,
Yeah.
but there's no
And
doctors.
self like medicate.
Yeah, self-medicate or ask around. So but we did have some very good UN doctor friends who attend to him.
Yeah.
Then, but it wasn't able to help. Then we had two other Nepali doctors based there. One was pediatrician, one was skin specialist.
Yeah.
So we went to brought him there and all that. So they tried. So after 4 months, but by this time it has developed into secondary infection. It was
Wow.
bleeding. He had scabs everywhere. He had pus oozing out. It come to a point whereby so I went back to the two specialists. I said, what's happening with my son? They said that, yeah, actually, this is what happened. They tried a lot of medication, but there was no medication, and they have to break down adult medication and force him to drink it, which he vomited out and all that. And then finally they told me, they said, and because of language barrier, they were speaking Nepali, half English. I was, so it was like, then they said, finally, then they said, we actually need this, but we don't have this medication. So we have this, and they're trying this to match, to concoct a medication for his condition.
Oh
I'm like, oh
my.
my goodness. So I'm like, okay. So by then pus was coming out from his ears and everywhere else, and he was bleeding every morning. He wake up. Remember, no electricity. Actually, there's no fan. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a fridge, but it's not
And your
working.
water was also yeah.
Water is also a challenge.
Yeah.
At times we would go down to the river to do whatever. So then we decided to fly him back.
Yeah.
So, but then we were conspiring with our missions pastors then back home, how not to show my parents the condition of the grandson.
It's true.
So we have to hide it from them.
Yeah.
So we were plotting and wearing long sleeves.
Yes,
Everything to cover up the sores and the wounds and bring him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was hard. That was the time whereby I really asked God, I said, God, like the first altar, put my son on the altar. And many times, so my husband will wake up in the morning and he'll be crying, and he'll carry my baby and walk around and pray over him and say, God, heal him and do everything. But it's 5 months before we take him back to Singapore for some treatment.
Yeah.
And you know what? In 1 week, and we didn't even go to any specialist. It was our GP doctor friend.
Yeah.
Just gave you antibiotics. It was all good in 3 days. I'm like,
Yeah. Just
wow.
finding the right source. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was really concerned. Our doctor friend was like, why did it develop until this secondary infection and all that? I said, no, we went to the doctor. They said, then in the end, they told us, hey, next time just call me. I'll DHL the medication. I said, I wouldn't know. But remember, those years, we don't even have WhatsApp call, don't have video call, don't have.
Oh, I remember scratching a card. Like there was a phone thing. Maybe even when you went, there wasn't such
There
a
wasn't
thing.
even such a
But
thing.
I had to like scratch out what do you call it? Like a phone card that you
top-up
buy?
card.
Top-up card, yes. You go to the shop, you buy the top-up card, and then you scratch it out, and then you call the number so that you can top up for the phone, right? And that was...
Oh, yeah, you should hear my era. We have to go up to the mountain.
Find
We'll
the
drive
connection.
20 minutes up the mountain. Then when the signal bar comes out, then we'll stand there by the side of the road.
Yeah.
When we call back Singapore, they will have to run and look for the person. They say that Selvams are calling back. You have to answer the call.
Yes, yeah.
Because the signal
One
may cut
chance,
off.
yeah.
And then you don't get to hear from us again.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever feel like regret, like bringing him and...
Bringing him?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I think he had the best time of his life. He came back not knowing ABC, and everyone was so concerned, like, oh my goodness, your son is so old and he doesn't even know ABC.
Oh, look at him now.
I said, don't worry, when he's 20 years old, he still doesn't know his ABC. Let's worry about it.
It's true. Yeah.
Eventually he will know his ABCs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the benefit that I see that in his life was that because he was a missionary baby,
Yeah.
you know, the blessing of serving God as your boss,
Yeah.
you couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
He has such a blessing. He has opened certain doors that even I have not opened
Wow.
with between him and God.
Yeah.
You know, when he wanted something, he just said, "Oh, I actually wanted this." Then I'll say, "No," but God will open the door for him.
Wow.
I'm like, God, you override my decision. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so over the years, we have seen how God has really been, God will never shortchange any one of us.
Yeah. Even our own children, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's His children.
Yeah. And it's his resources. He has
Right.
abundance, right? Of
Yeah,
what we can do. And even as we're willing and faithful, actually God is also very faithful to see through that.
yeah,
Yeah. And so, just talking about your sons, right? I thought maybe we'll shift gears a bit and talk about even your own journey in motherhood, right? All these seasons kind of test that, right? That
right,
trusting, that faith that we have in God. But in Romans 8:28 it says how like God works for the good of those who love him, right? And maybe sometimes it looks very difficult at first. It looks like such a challenge. It feels so difficult in that moment. But God works it all out for his good, right? Your three sons now attend our campus, and
right.
they are excellent human beings. Not just good looking, let me tell you that, okay? But they're excellent human beings, excellent boys. And maybe share a bit about that journey for you, right? And what have you done? I think that's my biggest question always. What did you do to raise them so well like that? Yeah.
I think that is something that people don't want to hear because it's basically letting go.
Yeah.
And for mothers, it's so hard, right? We
Mm,
want the best for them.
yeah.
Yeah, but every time God is reminding me, let go.
Mm.
So let go and let God.
Yeah. I remember you said that you also left your work, actually. At which point did you do that? How did you make that decision? Because there are many who are listening who are also maybe in a working in Singapore is hard, right? And a lot of us may not want to work, but we have to because it
Right,
is expensive to raise our
right.
children here. But maybe what drove you to that decision, and how did you make that decision in order to raise your boys?
I think because I let go of my job even before I got married, even before I had my children.
Mm.
So it's your personal walk with God. It's a
Yeah.
personal relationship with God. For me, when I heard God, calling me to missions and then redirecting my life, and then eventually when I went to work, I kind of feel that I had a I had a very good job. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I had whatever I
What
wanted.
did you do? What did you do?
I did business development. In those years, it was not a thing then.
Yeah.
So you open up new campuses or new factories or new whatever businesses overseas. And we were working alongside those MMCs like Motorola, Hewlett Packard, Compaq, Apple. And so we had,
It's a dream job.
yeah, it's a dream job. It's a dream job. Basically, my boss will be asking me, why didn't you spend on your credit card? Why is your credit card bill so low? Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. If
it's like,
somebody tells you that you're not spending enough money, I
yeah.
wish someone would tell me that.
And it's like, oh, and you need to take them for this, you need to take them for that, and you just need to spend, 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 and
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, but it came to a point whereby I felt the Lord say that again, are you willing to surrender, put on the altar? I
Mm.
say, okay, God, I choose you.
Yeah.
I choose you. So I reach a crossroad whereby I have to choose God or my job.
Mm.
Not every one of you need to do that. I think in this day and age, you can do flexi, remote, and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
But at that point, my job wasn't, and actually not just my job, it's me.
Mm.
I'm a very, this or that person.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that. I can handle both and keep
Yeah.
my heart. I mean, you guys can balance it
Yeah.
well, so it's good. But I can't. So I'm all in for one thing. That's it. So when I quit my job and there was nothing, silence. So everybody around me questioned me like, why do you quit such a good job? Da, da, da,
Yes.
da, 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 da. So I was like, I don't know. God told me, but I can't tell people that God told me to, right?
Correct.
You think I'll go, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I say, which I am to make
Yeah.
such a, but I just decided that's it. So I told my boss, I'm quitting my job. Then later on, a few months later, God actually spoke to me about going to Bible school. That's when I journey on to Bible school.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you had babies when? Like, so after that,
Oh,
how many more years? Yeah.
because I was married,
Yeah.
then I went to Bible school. So my deal with my husband is like, again, I told you I'm an all-in person. So I can't do babies when I'm in Bible school. I just can't do it. I mean, I don't have the brains and the,
Yeah.
So I said that only when I graduate, then we'll think about family planning.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
kind of like,
Well, so maybe what are some like principles or values that you stand by when you raise your boys? You know, what are some things that you always keep at the back of your mind as you raise them? Because you know, we are the first disciples, right? For our children, we are the ones who are showing them actually like the ways of God and all
right.
that. But what are some things that maybe you always kept in your heart and was like, okay, these are the things that these are the ways I'm gonna raise them, you know, here's how I'm gonna make sure that they follow God.
Yeah. I think that Deuteronomy chapter 6, where it says, love the Lord your God. In fact, it started off with like, these are the commandments. Do this and
Mm.
you'll live well, live long, and
Yes.
blessed.
Yes.
And then after it goes on to like, love the Lord your God with all your heart. That's number one.
Yeah.
And the greatest commandment. Second one, love your neighbors as yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically, this is what I think I want to show my sons. Love God, love people.
Yeah.
And then it goes on to say that if you do all this, you will be blessed in the land I call you to, and
Yes.
everything else. But it says that if you don't, if you have idols, if you have this, then all the consequences will come in.
Yeah.
So Deuteronomy chapter 6 is actually what. And also the verse that really struck me was that talk to them. When you're sitting, when you're walking, wherever you go, talk to them.
Yeah. Good.
God must be part of your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a Sunday thing. So everywhere it is God. Like when we get a new place, wow, God has blessed us.
Yeah.
And when we
It's in your language, right?
yes. And also you got to show them that, hey, this is such a testimony of the faithfulness of God.
Yeah.
Look, God has provided for you. And we also kept a lot of videos and photographs that are significant, that as they grow up, we'll tell them how God has provided for you.
Wow.
Because I remember there was one time when we were in East Timor, and then there was civil war broke up again. So in the midst of it, there's no more shipment from Indonesia. Everything was locked up. And I have a baby there who's 8 months old, who's totally dependent on milk powder.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh man, I already stocked up all the milk powder, but it's not going to last.
Yeah.
So I was so desperate, and I don't have diapers, and you can't even wash because you got to go to the river. And
Yeah. I
so
don't know how you did it, really.
I also don't know how I did it. I must be mad. Anyways, so we actually have to ask our UN friends, United
Yeah.
Nations policemen, say, when you're on your trip to Darwin, could you bring me 2 tins of milk powder and a packet of, and they're like, if I do that, people will be like, what? I
Why?
didn't have your
Yeah.
second family there. I said, please, as a favor for my little baby.
Yeah.
So when the milk powder came in, we actually took a photo
Wow.
to show that God provides.
Yeah.
In a land where you got money but you cannot buy, God provides.
Yeah. Yeah.
Milk powder.
Yeah. And bring along the kids on the journey, right? On the faith journey. Someone told me this before too, that actually, like when you're praying, right, for a miracle or something to take place,
Right.
actually bring them along too. Like,
Yeah.
hey, pray too, right?
Yeah.
And be a part, come and be a part of the journey, and see
Right.
how God can provide. Not just only when He's provided already, then you're like, hey, look, God has provided, right? But actually in the journey of praying, believing, trusting, surrendering, they can be a part of it too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because we brought the first son to East Timor for mission. So he was there 4 years. When he came back, he was like, so he had his mission. But we had the other 2 boys in Singapore. So we didn't know we would stay so long. But we stayed. So, and then because of that, we always feel that we need to go out missions again. So for the 2 boys, once I think my youngest was 5 or 6, we started telling them one day we'll be going missions again.
Yeah.
And so we started preparing them from, day and night. And we do a shift in our family.
Yeah.
We'll tell them that we're not going to buy any more birthday presents. We just do birthday dinners and all that.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, we'll still buy. But other than that, there's too much of everything in the house.
Yeah.
So we say that the day we go missions, we give you a suitcase, and whatever there's precious to you, you keep that, and you're gonna bring that.
Yeah.
But you cannot bring the whole house.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
they're like, okay. So when the time really comes, they were already prepared
Yeah.
mentally.
Yeah. Wow. And even as you're sharing this story, I just think about how blessed, like even Matthias, your eldest one, is today, and
Yeah.
just how God has provided for him also.
Yeah.
And maybe there was a time that he felt like he had to give up some of these things, right? And because, as a family, you guys had decided that and led your boys to like think that way. But just to see like how God has blessed him today is really incredible.
Incredible, right?
Incredible.
Even I'm like, oh, still blessed.
Right? Yeah. And maybe we can end off with this, what, we talked a lot about laying things at the altar, counting the costs, right? Trusting God, right? In every season of your life. Like, what helps you to do that? What are some things that you have done, or maybe you've realized over the years, you've cultivated, you've really invested in, so that this is your posture always? Like, God, anytime I need to drop stuff and go, anytime I need to like put my faith and my trust in you, I'm ready to do that, because I just know who you are. What are some things that have carried you through? What are some things that you do that helps you with that perspective?
I think it boils down to really the relationship with God.
Yeah.
When I start off hearing from God. So recently I was sharing at a young people's meeting. I was telling them, I say, look, not recently, a couple of years ago. So I told them, I say, look, when God spoke to me, 20 years old, and carried on, the vision carried me through making life decisions.
Yeah.
So I told myself that it shouldn't stop there. God shouldn't stop talking to me,
Yeah. Good.
right? So I have to press in, say, what next?
Mm.
What? Sometimes people, as we grow, we stop listening or we stop hearing from God.
Yeah, because you think you know already.
Yeah, or we think that this is already planned.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't go for detours and no, we just want it.
Interruptions.
Yeah, we're in our comfort zone.
Mm.
And so I say, God, what next? And so when I start doing that,
Yeah.
God
Good.
starts dropping new things again. So it's what we call new S curve. So you just go up the next level, go on the new things, and keeping yourself really pliable in the hands of God,
Mm.
and say that, God, okay, if that's what you want, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And so it's always like breaking yourself out of your comfort zone
Mm.
and always saying that, okay, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
It's not familiar. I'm not used to it, but I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And be
Yeah.
willing for God to like change your plans anytime, really.
Yeah. And be willing to even like, take out a new language, go to places that you don't want to go. Like the Bible says, Paul says,
Yes.
when I'm young, I go where I want to go. But when I'm led to places that I don't
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah.
So, but it's such a joy and such a, privilege
Yeah.
to be in the hands of God. I think the main thing that I've been emphasizing over and over again is always hearing from God, the presence of God. Don't lose that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of your life, it's not your achievements, it's not what you have done.
Mm.
And even if you don't have God, you don't have the presence of God, you don't have the voice of God, then
What's the point?
yeah,
Mm.
what you started with, go back to what you started with.
Yeah. That's really good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for sharing your story. I think it's so incredible. It is an intentional decision that we make, right? When you say,
Yeah.
I want to count the cost, I want to lay down like certain things, I want to step out my comfort zone. I mean, God's not going to force you to do that,
Yeah.
right? You step out yourself, you make the choice. Like Peter, when he walked on the water, Jesus was calling him, but he had to step out. He had to take the step of faith.
And he's the only one who experienced.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, with a
Right?
very cool experience. So if you want to have a crazy, incredible, out of this world experience in your life, hey, take the step of faith.
Yeah.
Right?
Do life.
Do life. Yeah,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
life with God.
And I think the interesting and very, very encouraging things for me nowadays is to see young people step out and really hearing God, be passionate for God, laying down their lives for God. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
I'll be the greatest cheerleader. Come on, go for it. You don't know what's in store, but it's great.
Yeah. No, that's what I love about you too. You're such a big supporter, to us personally, but I think to so many that you've blessed also. Yeah. So
I
thank
think
you.
I think recently we've been learning, it's no longer about, okay, let my church grow. It's
Mm,
about expanding the purposes of God.
yeah.
Hey, I want to recruit many more people to join in this cause
Wow.
of missions.
Yeah.
It's not just about an organization or whatever.
Yeah.
But look, this is a cause I believe in, so I'm going to recruit worldwide
Yeah.
as many as possible. But they may do it in their own ways.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really powerful. Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing all your stories. I'm positive. I'm very certain so many are going to be very encouraged by it.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me here. It's such a privilege.
Well, thank you. Well, and thank you so much for listening to this conversation. I hope this episode has also helped you to live full.